This video is brought to you by
Cool green clothing coming straight up out of that DMV. You know what it is. This that Baltimore designer right here. Come on now, come and show some love and show some support. Go online right now, coolgreenclothing.com, and make your purchase. Oh yeah, by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end. For the Day One family, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. Sometimes in life, we get fooled by the people that come across our paths. Whether it's a friend you knew for years that you thought had your back, but in the end had different motives, or a person you fall in love with because they present themselves in the beginning as someone they really are not. In the beginning of most relationships, people put on a mask to cover up red flags and things about themselves they know if they reveal will leave you second guessing the situation. Most of the time, we don't spot those things until way down the line. A person might have an anger problem, not knowing how to control their emotions. As a man or woman in a relationship with an individual like that, you might think it's cute at first. Like, oh, they really love me and are crazy about me. Until you realize this person has real issues and possibly could harm you. For some people, it gets deeper than it's all over. I can just walk away because they are either married to someone who fooled them in the beginning or have a child by that person. As grown-ups, we make our own decisions. If you want to continue to entertain a person that's throwed off, but we never know that anger and hate that person has for you can trickle down to others you love, unfortunately, until it's too late. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing the recent tragic case of Breaunna Cormley, a 12-year-old girl left gone in her own home. 12-year-old Breaunna Cormley was described by family and friends as a reserved young lady. Quiet, mostly stayed to herself, went to school where she attended the National Academy Foundation. She lived with her mother, grandmother, and other siblings and stayed glued to her family's side, helping out around the house and hanging out watching TV shows. In her free time, she enjoyed making TikTok videos or rating her classes she liked the most in school, best or worst. Breaunna lived in East Baltimore in the 500 block of North Kenwood Avenue in McElderry Park. Sometimes she would play with the other neighborhood kids, but often was on her front steps. The preteen had big dreams with her whole life ahead of her until Friday, July 19th. Breaunna was at home alone when neighbors outside on the block saw a man pacing back and forth in front of the house. He then started playing with the doorknob. Then seconds later, Breaunna let him in, leaving everyone thinking everything was okay. The man was 28-year-old Omar Passmore, one of Breaunna's siblings' father, but not hers. After some yelling in the home, neighbors saw Omar walk outside, sit on the steps before then bopping off. A short time later, Breaunna's grandmother returned home and saw something that made her heart drop, leaving her screaming out for neighbors to help. As people on the block heard the commotion and Breaunna's grandmother yelling, "Why did he do this to my baby?" they ran over. See Breaunna laying in her own home, suffering from a gunshot wound. They called BPD, who responded to the house and unfortunately pronounced that the 12-year-old young lady was gone. Witnesses quickly let police know that they saw Omar enter the home, and the only people there at the time was him and Breaunna. Shortly after, that's when the yelling had started. But after the fact, Omar left out and just walked off. As the story hit the news, a sweet, quiet, innocent child had lost her life. It left her family and the neighborhood grieving, with classmates, neighbors, and friends putting teddy bears and balloons stating "We love you, Bree." A vigil was held by Baltimore's Safe Streets organization, where they spoke on the violence of the city and how many young kids had recently lost their lives to violence, stating how we need to love each other as a community and come back together. Neighbors spoke to the news about what they witnessed that evening, or how could someone target a young girl. As detectives determined it wasn't an accident, but in fact done on purpose, they started digging deeper into Omar's past history. It was discovered someone who lived at Breaunna's address had took out a protective order not too long ago on a man. Also, he had 2 prior pending cases, one charge filed by his own mother, where she claimed he came to her home and damaged all of her stuff before zapping out when she told him to leave. She told the courts she was scared of her own son and didn't want him there. Another case was against one of his children's mother. It took place in Baltimore County, where she lived with his 2 young kids. She claimed Omar came by the house, put hands on her, and told her he would take her life before filing charges. The family started a GoFundMe to help with expenses for Breaunna to be laid to rest, and BPD went on a hunt for Omar as the community called for justice on a coward. A few days later, he was located in Baltimore County, taken into custody. Ironically, he had tears in his eyes. Omar was charged with first-degree murder. As the community got the news an arrest was made, they were happy, but looking at the balloons reminded them that baby girl Bree was gone. Omar confessed to taking her life, but never gave a motive. The only thing police knew is he had a child with her mother, and someone in the house, more than likely Breaunna's mother, had a protective order against him. During his first court appearance, Omar remained silent as he was denied bail and is currently being held awaiting trial. Rest in peace to Breaunna. I send my deepest prayers and condolences to her family. I can't even stomach the fact a grown man would intentionally walk in a home with a little girl who trusted him and end her life. I'm not sure if it had something to do with the protection order, but during my research, it said it was over a year ago and it had recently been lifted. But either way, that was a sucker and coward move, and I wish I could say more. I often tell my daughters, a person that can't control their emotions is the most dangerous kind of individual. They will do something out of anger and cry about the results, claiming they didn't mean to. This baby girl definitely didn't deserve what happened to her. She couldn't defend herself, had nothing to do with grown-up business, and had her whole life in front of her. Hopefully the family can get some justice. I'm praying for their peace of mind and healing during this tough time. I'm going to share the link to the GoFundMe for Breaunna in the description. Y'all make sure y'all reach out and give some support if you can. Again, rest in peace to Breaunna. This was another episode of the Baltimore Way. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Leave it in the comments. This your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.